Project cost is an important aspect of any project. If you're able to track and monitor the project costs effectively, the likelihood of your project's success is higher. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a dynamic project cost dashboard where you can track your costs effectively for your projects using Google Sheets. So as you can see in here, I have a filter of the month. So if I choose any other month, for example, go to August, it will show me some of the most important details here. As you can see, planned cost and deficit. So basically the planned cost was $635,000, for which we are at the $955 cost overrun. And the percentage of tasks completed for this month is at 45%. Then we have our actual cost by different categories, such as testing, labor, equipment, materials, and so on. Also, we have the number of tasks completed and number of tasks in progress. In the meantime, we also have a cost per item. So soil compaction in this month has costed us this amount, and also the other items in here. If I change this, for example, to October, as you can see, all of the things here will be updated as well. So make sure to stick till the end of the video in order to understand the step-by-step process of creating dynamic cost dashboards for your projects to make sure that your projects are successful. So as you can see in your data here, we have the dates, the cost code, category, item, vendor, planned cost, and actual cost, and also the status of each of those activities related to this cost. The first thing to a little bit sort our data in here would be to add the month names in here. For that one, I'll add a column in here, and I'll write down the title, month, and in order to convert this into month, I'll write the text function. So equal sign, text, open parenthesis, I'll select this one, and then comma, double quotes, I'll write down M or month 4 times in order to have the full name of our month. And I'll apply it to the rest of the cells. So in order for the data to be dynamic, I need to add another sheet with the filtered data. So in case if I select one of the months, the data specific to that month should appear in there. So I'll add another sheet in here, and I'll name it filtered data. And also I'll create another sheet for our dashboard. So for the month names in here, I'll just copy all of them and I'll paste them here in the dashboard. And the next step, I'll just make sure to remove the duplicates. So data cleanup, remove the duplicates, and okay. So we have 4 months, July, August, September, and October. In here, I'll write down month, and in here, I'll add a drop down. So for that purpose, I'll go to insert, and from here, I'll pick the drop down. So drop downs will be July, and then we have August, and let's add September. And last but not least, I'll add October. And then click done. I'll remove these as I just wanted to use this as a reference. So I have the month names in here. So in the filtered data, what I will do is I'll pick the titles from here. Command C, and then Control V in here. I'll use filter function to filter the data. Write down filter, open parenthesis, select the range that you want to filter. So it's basically from column A up to column I. And then comma, the condition should be that column B or the month name, this equals to the month name in here, the one that we have, and press enter. Right now, all of them are blank since we haven't picked any of the month names in here. So I'll just pick, for example, August. If we go to the filtered data, only the data for August will appear in here. So I'll make this a little bit bigger, and in the meantime, I'll add an outline for these. So our first visual in here is the total planned cost and also its difference to the actual cost. So I'll go to the filter data and I'll select the planned cost in here. I'll go to insert a chart. So Google Sheets by default will give me a chart, but since I'm looking for a chart in here, just scroll down here, we will have our total planned cost. But this is only the planned cost on row number 1. Since we need all of the summation of column G, I'll aggregate this. And for the baseline value, I'll add the actual cost, which is located on column H. Click OK. In here, it shows that our planned cost is estimated to be $6,567 above the actual cost, which is a good indicator. So I'll just close this, and then I'll copy this and paste it in the dashboard sheet in here. Make it a bit smaller in order to fit our dashboard. And let's make it smaller from here as well. The next thing is to do a little bit of formatting to this. First and foremost, you'll go to the chart title. It should be the planned cost versus deficit. In here, we're not in the deficit in the month of August. So, and the next thing would be the size of the title should be 16, and I'll also make it bolder. And the color should be a bluish color like this. And also for the key value or the value in here, I'll make this bolder, bring it to the center. And for the baseline value, I'll make it bolder as well. And I'll put it in the center. And in the chart style, I'll just change the border color to black. So our first visual is set. So if I change the month to July, as you can see, everything is perfectly in place. The next visual in here is the percentage completed or the percentage of activities completed during this month. So for that one, what I will do is, first of all, I'll add a chart in there. So basically this chart, status and number of tasks. So I'll write down again in here, status and also number of tasks. So status, we had two things. Number one was the completed, and the second category was in progress. For this one, I'll use the countf function. So write down $countf. So basically in the filtered data, it should count in this category or in this column the completed tasks for me. And I'll apply it to the rest of the cells as well. So in order to create the second visual, where we have the percentage of activities completed for every single month, what I need to do is I'll have to do a workaround. So that one would be percentage of tasks completed. And here I'll write down the number of completed tasks divided by sum of the total tasks. Press enter. It's 56, and then change it to percentage, and there we go. So I'll select this and then go to insert, and I'll select the chart for this. So this chart will be inserted, but the type of chart that I'm looking after is this one, a scorecard chart. So it's 57% in here. So I'll bring this just right below the other chart that we have in here and make this a bit smaller. And also the weight should be the same. And for this one, the title should be, go to chart X and titles. The title should be percentage of tasks completed. Again, the title text color should be this dark blue. The font should be 16. It should be bold. And also for the percentage itself, if we go to the key value, this should be bold. And also it should be the center. So there we go. I'll just add a column in here to create a space in here. Make this a bit smaller. For this one, I'll add the outlines. The titles should be bold. Also, the background color should be blue and the text color should be a yellow one. So the next visual that we need in here is the percentage of actual cost by cost categories. So as you can see in here, we have the cost categories on column D and the actual cost on column H. So I'll select column D and then hold Control key, select column H, and go to Insert and insert the chart. So by default, Google Sheet will give us a column chart. But there is a slight problem with this one. As you can see, each cost category, for example, miscellaneous, is repeated a number of times, also the testing, materials, and everything. The reason for that is those cost categories are actually repeated on column D in here as well. But the goal for us is for each of the cost categories, we want to see a single column. For that purpose, just pick the aggregate from here. And then the chart type should be a donut chart, as you can see in here. I'll remove these, and the next thing that I'm going to do in here is go to pie chart, and also on the slice label, I'll only add the percentages. Maybe make them bolder, and also add the legend at the bottom so we can understand what does each color represent. I'll copy this and paste it into the dashboard sheet in here. I'll just resize this a little bit from this side and maybe make it a little bit bigger, and then let's compress it. In order for everything to be visible, go to edit the chart, and what we can do is in the customize the legend, let's bring the size down to 8. And let's do the same with the labels in here as well. So for that purpose, I'll go to pie slice and or pie chart in here, and the label size should be 8 as well. So we can see all the percentages. Last but not least, we have the actual cost per item. So again, in the filtered data in here, I'll just remove this since we don't need it here anymore. So I'll select the item and also hold Control key, select column H, which is the actual cost, insert a chart in here. This will be another column chart. Again, we will aggregate this in order to make sure that the same categories are aggregated together. I'll copy this from this sheet and take it to the dashboard sheet in here. So let's bring it up here and then to the right, make it a bit smaller and go to the chart style. We'll just remove the text color or change it to white, remove the grid lines, make the size of these 8, and also let's bring these to the right a little bit. There we go. And the fill color should be, for example, this yellow color, and go to data labels. The data labels should be outside, and again, the font color should be 8, the font size should be 8, bold. Now let's pick a dark color for this one as well. So there we have it. So now if I go and pick, for example, September, as you can see, everything will be updated and I can see my project's cost in a nutshell. I hope you found the content of this video helpful. If you did so, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, also following us on Instagram and LinkedIn for more useful project management, data analysis, and civil engineering tips and insights. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.